What's going on, everybody? Today is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Dad, if you're watching, happy birthday. What do I do here? This is my channel. I am Captain Crush. I go over the playoff slates for NBA currently. I do PGA, WNBA, and NFL as well. What I will do is break down PrizePicks, Underdog, Thrive Fantasy, No House Advantage, all the websites that have fantasy scores and whatnot. I will cover it, break it down, explain to you what props you should be targeting and which props you should be fading. I tried my best to teach the process. I'm not really one of those guys who's going to come on here and tell you which ones to pick. I do give you plenty of hints on which way you should be leaning. I hope that you learn the right process. That is my job. That being said, we have one game to cover. Lakers-Warriors, -6 favoring the Warriors, 227.5 point total. It should be a good one. First, let's go over to Thrive Fantasy where I have a slip cooked up. If you want to go ahead and tail, Jordan Poole over 14.5 real points, Jared Vanderbilt over 11.5 points rebounds, LeBron James less than 25.5 points, Austin Reeves over 8.5 rebounds and assists, and Victor Hovland more 4.5 eagles plus birds. Basically, that means he has to get over 4.5 birdies or eagles. If you sign up and you're a new user, promo code CRUSH, you'll get a free square, and then you could substitute any one of these. I would take out LeBron or Poole, and then you have a pick 5 that can get you 20.2x. Let's go over to PrizePicks and break down these fantasy scores, okay? First, we have LeBron James, 48.5 fantasy score. Can't remember the last time I've seen it that low. He's due for a big game, but I don't think it's going to be tonight, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and put the under here. Next, Curry, 46.5 fantasy points. He's one of those guys that's either going to get this by scoring buckets or not. So if we go over to his real points, we can see that it's 30.5. Now ask yourself, does Curry get a lot of blocks and steals? Absolutely not. Does he get a lot of turnovers? Yes, because he has a high usage rate of around 32%. That means -1 for every time. We don't have that block and steal equity with Curry, but he does tend to get some assists and some rebounds. Remember, rebounds are worth 1.2, assists are worth 1.5. However, if you want to take Curry at 46.5, you can. I'm never going to steer you away from a stud like that. However, if it's me, I would just take the 30.5 real point total more instead. If he hits his fantasy score, that means he more than likely hit his real point total, and it's 30.5, it's 16 points less. All right, now we can go back over here. Anthony Davis, he's all the way up to 57.5. The man has been getting 3 to 4 blocks every single game, it seems. Look at this. 76 points, 76 fantasy points in a single game is absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd. So can we go back to Anthony Davis? Absolutely. Will I be going there personally? No, I'm not going to take this fantasy score, but I'm not taking under. I will either take more or fade the prop, okay? These are the two studs. The reason I'm taking under on LeBron is just because his fantasy point per minute, let's go find it. LeBron James' fantasy point per minute is 1.48, and he has a usage rate of 33%. Okay, that's over the season average. So if we go over here to the calculator, let's say he plays 32 minutes, 1.45 times 32. He's getting 50.75. He'll hit it on average. Problem is, take a look at his game log. 46, 37, 35. He had one big game, 61, 46. His ceiling is always going to be 60 to 70. Let's be real. He's LeGoat James. However, in these playoffs, in this series and the one before, I honestly believe his real true ceiling is going to be around 46 to 50. So at 48.5, I'm just going to go ahead and roll the dice and take the under. Anthony Davis, I already covered him. All right, so we covered the 3 big studs. Now I want to talk about Klay Thompson, 33.5 fantasy score. He's another one that I'm just not going to feel comfortable with ever, okay? They are favorites to win. I don't know why, but they are. Probably because they're at home and they just came off a loss. But again, Klay Thompson, if I'm going to target Klay, I'll just take his real points, or I'll just take the Splash Bros, Curry and Thompson over 3 points made. Whatever that prop is, it'll probably be 9. I would suggest taking that. My favorite prop on the board for the Warriors is going to be Kevon Looney. 32.5 fantasy points. I called my shot. I said it was going to be 32.5 fantasy points. I will be taking the over. I also like his rebounds at 13.5. Check this out. His ceiling is all of a sudden become 45. Out of nowhere, he's just been dominating lately. And why? He's been crushing the glass. 20 rebounds, 15 rebounds, 12 rebounds. He's just playing on another level. And when a guy's playing on that other level, I'm just going to keep taking him until it costs me. So Kevon Looney over 32.5 fantasy points. I will take that all day long. He's going to be a staple in my lineup. Him and his rebound prop is what I will be taking. Draymond Green over 32 fantasy points, a nice even number here. You can make a case to play both of these guys in the same slip. I don't hate it at all. All right, let's take a look at their fantasy points and usage. Okay, Draymond Green has a 13% usage rate and Kevon Looney has a 10% usage rate. Those usage rates are terribly low, but the thing is these guys are heavy defensive players. So they're not really running the offense through them, which is what a usage rate is. But their fantasy point per minute for Kevon Looney is 1.04 fantasy points per minute. Draymond Green's is lower at 0.97 fantasy points per minute. I don't even need to calculate that. If you take it times 30, they're going to hit both of these lines. Both of them are in play. My favorite being Kevon Looney. Andrew Wiggins, I saw it last time. Everyone's upset. Everyone's talking about how Andrew Wiggins sold. He did this, he did that. Guys, girls, it happens. Okay, we're playing playoffs. They're the same matchups over and over and over. This has only been one game, so we can't really have that argument. But it's going to happen. These guys are going to sell. They're human beings. If you're making the right play night in, night out, you're going to make money at the end of it all. Okay, I promise. Andrew Wiggins, 31.5 fantasy points is too low. It just is. It's too low for his projection. It's too low for his ceiling. He's probably projected at 33 fantasy points. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. We'll have to wait and discuss it live. Covered all the Warriors that I wanted to cover, except Jordan Poole, 24.5 fantasy points. Is it a good prop? I told you guys last time they played, he was due a big game. And guess what? He had a big game considering 33 fantasy points. He had a bunch of real points. I like it. I will probably target his real point prop instead, but this is 100% in play. I want to show you his usage rate right quick. His usage rate is 29% and he averages 1.08 fantasy points per minute. A 29% usage rate for Jordan Poole. That means when he's on the court, the ball is in his hands. That is very important, okay? It gives him more opportunity, assists, and scoring. That is very important. It also can lead to turnovers, which is unfortunate, but hopefully we avoid that situation altogether. I will be taking his fantasy in some, but I will lean on his real points. All right, now let's cover the rest of these Lakers. My favorite Laker is D'Lo Russell, 29 fantasy score. I took it last time. I told you guys I loved it. I'll be taking it again. I love this guy right now. He's trending up, and I want to continue to ride this train until I have to be forced off. Let's go ahead and check out his usage rate and fantasy point per minute. All right, D'Angelo Russell, 22% usage rate and 1.04 fantasy points per minute. Another one that's 29 is way too low. If he's going to play 30 minutes and he's getting 1.04 fantasy points a minute, it's going to be over 30. So let's just go ahead and take it, and we will ask questions later. So this is going to be my staple right here. These two over, and then we have Austin Reeves over here, 27.5. It was lowered last time. It was at 29. He put up a real stinker. He didn't have to do a lot. If you want to go ahead and gamble with Austin Reeves, I don't mind it. Me personally, I'll probably take his over rebounds or his assist. We will discuss that on the live stream. And yeah, so that's it for fantasy scores. Let's go ahead and take a look at the real points. I already covered Curry. 30.5 real points is always going to be in play for Curry. He can get hot at any time. I will focus on his 3-point attempts with Clay most likely. Maybe a slip or two here with the over. It is kind of a lot of points. I'm not going to pretend that it's not. It's a playoff game. They need to win. We'll see what happens. Anthony Davis, over 26.5 real points. That's my favorite prop for him right there. LeBron, under 25.5 real points. I'm just going to keep taking the unders on LeBron. I know how scary it is, but for whatever reason, it's working out. He was the taco. He sold. He hasn't been getting there. His average in the playoffs is right around 25. So I'm just going to keep taking the unders. Call me crazy, but as much as this is math, and math is always the king here, folks. Fantasy point per minute, usage rate. But the other third piece of the puzzle of all of this is trends. Just like a stock market, you want to find the trends before everyone else does, before people can adjust. And if he's trending down on his points because he's just not having to do as much because everyone else is stepping up, i.e. Anthony Davis, Dennis Schroeder, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, then we can continue to just take the under. And when he does have that explosive game, we're going to get hurt. But until that time, we'll just stay on the train. Okay? Covered the studs. D'Angelo Russell, 15.5 real points. I like it, but I'm taking his fantasy score. Klay Thompson, we covered him, 23.5 real points. Klay can get hot any given night. I will fade this prop though. I'm not really going to be high on Klay, but I will say this. Klay is due a monster game soon. And my monster game, I'm talking 30 points plus real points. Andrew Wiggins, 17.5 real points, took this last time he sold. You know, Andrew Wiggins, he's going to be that guy that disappoints you, but I'm going to keep taking it. I'm still going to keep taking the over on Andrew Wiggins. I don't care. It's the right play. I'm going to keep taking it. Dennis Schroeder, over 8.5 real points. Last time this prop was at 7 or 8. Now it's at 8.5. Vegas is favoring this at -135 to go over, giving it a 53% chance to hit. That means it is a profitable prop to take the over here. I don't like it. It doesn't feel comfortable, but per the math, this is the right play. So go ahead and include him in some of your slips. Austin Reeves, 15 real points. He got bumped down. He was at 15.5. A couple games before that, he was all the way at 16.5. If you want to take a shot on AR-15, you can. You know he can get hot. I'm just going to avoid it altogether, and I'm going to go with someone else named Jordan Poole, over 14.5 real points. I told y'all last time, he got there, 21 points. He got there. And guess what? I'll continue to do it again because it's the right play. His season average is way higher than this. He has a really high usage rate. I will continue to take it. He's not afraid to chuck shots, and I'm not afraid to chuck slips. You like that? So let's move on. Okay, we covered the points here. Let's go over to rebounds. Kevon Looney, over 13.5 rebounds. Love it. Jared Vanderbilt, over 5.5 rebounds. That's in play, but I will probably take his PRA instead. Austin Reeves, over 4 rebounds. Love that. That's a good prop. It's trending the right way. We like to see that. Probably stay away from these other ones. Anthony Davis, I'm never going to tell you not to take it. You can go ahead and take Anthony Davis over 14.5 rebounds. I don't mind it. Assists, I'm assuming Curry's going to get bumped to 6 tomorrow. If he does get bumped to 6, then it would be the under. While he's at 5.5, you could take the over. But I personally would stand on this and just stay away from it. I don't like the over. I don't like the under. LeBron, over 5.5 assists. That's probably a decent prop for him. Austin Reeves, over 4 assists is good. If you want to take his over rebounds plus assist, that's probably even better. D'Angelo Russell, we already talked about him. Take his fantasy score. I'm going to give you a quick prop because this is going to get bumped. Joker, I know he's not playing till Friday, but over 7.5 assists, that just seems like a steal to me. Vegas is favoring it too at -130. Go ahead and take more on that and just until Friday, and hopefully he hits. Lulz. All right, let's see. Kevon Looney, 24.5 PRA. Okay, we're under the PRA. They don't have Jared Vanderbilt up here yet. So if you want to go ahead and take his points or his points rebounds, I'm not sure if they're going to put a PRA up for Jordan Vanderbilt. Here it is. Points rebounds, 11.5. This was his PRA line the other night that I took that cashed. Just go ahead and take his points rebounds again. I think that's his best line. Maybe his points because it does have push equity. 3 points made, Curry over 5. That's probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite prop for him. Again, when they have the prop for these two combined, I would go ahead and take it. Same thing if they have it combined for him and Jordan Poole. It was at 6.5 the other night. Took it cashed. I like that a lot. Okay, so I've covered PrizePicks, everything that I wanted to cover here. There is one thing that I want to cover. Underdog fantasy, folks. Guess what? We get a free square today. Jaylen Brown, higher or lower? Higher than 0.5 real points? Absolutely take higher. This is a free square. You can start your slip right here. Jaylen Brown higher. LeBron James lower, or you could go higher on LeBron James assist. Either one of those is fine. D'Angelo Russell. They don't have his fantasy score up yet, but I probably will take it when it comes. Higher on the 15.5 points is fine. Austin Reeves, I talked about his rebounds. I like higher there. Jared Vanderbilt, they have his PRA at 12.5. You could go ahead and take that. Or you could just take his 5.5 rebounds. Either or is fine. Dennis Schroeder, see they have him at 9. PrizePicks has him at 8.5. So I would just stay away from this. Don't go higher or lower. Trying to see if there's any more value here we can find. Kevon Looney, higher, 13.5 rebounds. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives you 5. So the way they do it here is they have pick 5 where if you do without insurance, it's 20x. So if I put in 5, it pays 100. And then you have insurance. If you want to do insurance, you can't with the boosted entry. Unfortunately, that's their thing. So if you want to just do a pick 2 with the boosted entry, just do this. This is going to be my favorite 2 for the boosted entry. And then you do 5 for 15. It's paying out 3x. So it's pretty standard. just like PrizePicks pays 3x. Okay? And you do get that free square. Listen, if you use my promo code CRUSH, you'll get a 100% deposit match for whatever you put on. Go ahead, it helps me out. And remember, if you use my promo code on Underdog Fantasy, you get a free month into my Discord, which is dropping next week. You can't wait. Trust me, you're going to want to get in that. Okay? You've reached the end of the video. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I got this out late at night so you'd have this before the bumps. I wanted to tell you guys something. Listen, this is gambling at the end of the day. We're playing. It is what it is. We're rolling dice. It's a playoff game. You're not going to win every night. You're not going to win every week. You hope to make the right play day in, day out, and at the end of the month, you hope to turn a profit. And if you continue to watch this channel, my job, my promise to you is that I will turn you into a profitable sports fantasy guru so that you can have some fun in your hobby and maybe make a few bucks. All right? I appreciate you watching. If you learned anything, like and subscribe. Good luck and crush.